News Radio, Wham 1180 welcomes you to the Seniors Rock Show, presented by Effortlessly Healthy Meals. The Seniors Rock Show is a lively weekly discussion shining a bright light on aging with fun, entertaining, and important info for all adults. Join in with your comments or questions. Call 222-1180 or 1-800-295-1180. Now, live from the News Radio Wham 1180 studios in downtown Rochester, here's your host, Gianna Palvino.
Well, welcome and good morning. I'm sitting here thinking that as an advocate for all adults, and we always talk about aging adults, but we're really here for all adults. And I really appreciate having the honor of hosting and producing this show. It's almost a decade now, and I've interviewed many, many people over those years, and they're mostly all dedicated. All of their lives have been dedicated actually to making aging more productive and engaging in one way or the other. One of the people that stood out in my mind and has done a lot in our community is my guest co-host today. Her name is Anne Marie Cook, and she's the president and CEO of Lifespan of Greater Rochester and the Finger Lakes. Lifespan provides a lot of information and guidance. I think there's more than 30 services now for older adults. Anne Marie can correct me if I'm wrong there, probably more now. And they take care of adults and caregivers around Rochester and the Finger Lakes region. They've got a army of volunteers, and it's where I received my certificate of gerontology, actually, after I had a really wonderful learning experience there. I tell people all the time, they have outstanding professionals that teach these classes, and I think it's about 120 hours or so, but well worth it if you have any interest at all in learning about seniors or, just for yourself. It's fascinating. So I totally recommend that. And the new certificate of gerontology program is actually starting, I think it's this month. So check that out. We'll give you the contact information soon. And we're blessed, to have an agency like Lifespan and someone like Anne Marie Cook at the helm in our community. And longer life brings new challenges. That's what they say for both older adults and their caregivers. And no one understands the new face of aging better than the professionals at Lifespan and Anne Marie Cook. So thank you so much for joining us today, Anne Marie. I really appreciate you taking time out of your Saturday for us.
Joanna, I can't thank you enough, not only for all you do every single Saturday, but for really highlighting the work that Lifespan's doing today. So, there's a lot of interesting things going on, like always. And I'm thrilled to be here today to just talk about some of those new things going on.
I am too, because I was looking at the website and there are so many things that Lifespan gets involved in. And again, the website's a great place as a resource, but because you have so many services, programs, and volunteer opportunities, folks, great ones at Lifespan. Anne Marie, are there any particular programs? I'm going to ask you to spotlight some because there's so much on the website.
Yeah, Joanna, as you said, it is over 30 programs and services. And as you know, I could talk about each and every one, but I would like to highlight a few of them.
And you
You
won't have enough
mentioned
time on our hour here. We'd have to put you on for like 3 hours at least.
That's right. Joanna, the one I always talk about all the time now, because it's happening to so many people, is our anti-scams program. As you know, you and I have talked about it before, and I know you've
Yes.
highlighted it on your show, but it's the first one I always start with. If you think you're a victim of a scam or you're unsure about something, either online or somebody's called you, Lifespan can help. We have this great dedicated team, of course, that helps people decipher what's going on out there. And horrible things are going on, Joanne, even right here in our community. And
Absolutely.
and of course, and you highlighted it too, we have our new gerontology certificate program starting up in another week or so. We do this in conjunction with the University of Rochester, the Geriatric Education Center, 120 hours. But as you said, Joanna, thank you so much. Really excellent professors talking
Yeah.
about aging.
It's a
And
great place
another
to meet people too in the industry. I'm sorry to jump in there, but that's one of the things I realized when I took the course. It really gives you a real foundation of people that you can network with.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. And, another one that we've started to focus on this is elder abuse certificate program, also being done in conjunction with the University of Rochester for those professionals who would like a deeper dive. This is new, Joanna, a
I'm ready
deeper
to
dive
come.
in elder abuse and to get an elder abuse certificate from both Lifespan and the U of R. That's a new certificate program that's starting, and I really, really encourage people to hop on our website and look at those offerings for folks.
Hmm.
Um, but if you don't mind, I'm just going to mention a couple of other programs that we have going on. Of course, we have flu clinics going on all throughout the community right now. And also, we'll start COVID clinics. We do that in conjunction too with the University of Rochester. But we have numerous volunteer opportunities for people, whether it's a couple hours a week that you want to do, or what I call a one and done program. We have those too. Please call Lifespan. But the one program I'd like to highlight the most, I would say, is our New York Connects program. That's the phone bank, Joanna, where there's always at least 8 people on the phone. And if you have any question about aging, your mom's become frail, you don't understand nursing homes, you need transportation. I'm going through the litany of questions that we get every day. I encourage you to just call and talk to one of our social workers who's a counselor and can connect you to the right services you need. That's what I find the biggest thing that people need every single time they talk to me at Lifespan. They need
Yep.
information to make the right decisions.
That's true. And the first question I've always heard, and I did it myself, is where do I start? When you have a loved one that needs services, I can't tell you how confusing it can be and how valuable these services can be. And we're mentioning, we haven't mentioned the contact, but it's lifespan-roch.org. And if you just put lifespan in the Google thing, it'll come up. So, and the phone number is 585-244-8400. And as Ed Marie said, there's a team of people there to help. So, and, go to the website, check out all the different services and take advantage of them. That's why you're there, right?
That's exactly why we're here to answer your questions. And hopefully we can, pick up the phone on the first ring. But if not, you leave a message and we'll get back to you within 24 hours.
I am intrigued by this elder abuse certificate. I might have to come back again because, I get furious. I try to channel my anger, but it just it makes me crazy because we've had many, instances in our own family and with my friends, and it's heartbreaking. I've had people crying on the phone. It's something I get so angry about. So if I could do anything to help, I am in. And this elder abuse certificate through the U of R sounds very good. So I'll check that out myself. Thank you very much. And what have you been doing? What did you do for the summer, Anne Marie, on a more personal side?
On
Everyone
a
knows
more
your
personal
leadership.
side,
Yeah,
yeah,
everyone
that's
knows your
right. I got
leadership
it.
at Lifespan. You have a life, right?
Yeah, once in a while, I got a
Mhm.
wonderful opportunity to spend some time in the Finger Lakes, and I enjoyed it so much with my husband, my family, and of course my new grandson. We had so much
Yeah.
fun. And also just got the opportunity, Joanna, to spend some time with colleagues in New York City. I just got back from New York City and really got an opportunity to hear all the wonderful things they're doing in aging, and of course, as you know, also take some personal time to enjoy the city life down there.
Awesome. Yeah, folks, Anne Marie is not only known locally, but yeah, you are statewide. And I love that you represent our area to the state and to the folks that, are paying attention in the legislative, area like we do with GRAPE, with the Greater Rochester Area Partnership for the Elderly, another great organization that we'll have on again soon. Carol Bartlett's going to be visiting with us. But, I love that all of these organizations work together on behalf of our aging adults and also the families, which is like all of us. Everybody I know is somewhere touched by someone who's aging or is, a neighbor, a loved one, a family member. It's not, I guess it's at my age too. I'm seeing it more. But folks, guess what? You're going to be here too. So, Anne Marie, any other things you wanted to touch on? Because we have another couple of minutes here. But I know one of the really cool things on the website that I found was this guide, a style guide, not for clothing, but for age friendly communication. And I am fascinated again, some of the things that, we grew up hearing and saying. And now we're trying to reframe aging is what they say. And I love it because it is true. We get discriminated against because we do it ourselves. We say it ourselves, right, Anne Marie? And so if you go to the style guide for age-friendly communication, it gives you some examples of what's not right to say anymore and what's not even anymore. We should have never said it, but to start thinking in a more positive way. Like people living in nursing homes, they're residents, they're not patients because that's where they live. It's their home. And the other thing is when you say a senior place where people live, I always try to gently tell people, please don't call it a facility because nobody wants to be in a facility, right? Nobody wants to put their parents in a facility. It is a community, and that's what we're trying to grow here on the show. That's what Lifespan's doing and Grape's doing. We're all in this community together. So I feel strength in that. I really do. And thank you, Anne Marie, for making me um, uh, open my eyes to a lot of things that I never thought about when I was younger.
Joanne, I so appreciate you bringing up the style guide. And as you said, there's a lot of things that we used to say that aren't appropriate anymore.
Absolutely. Okay, stay with us, news. No, folks, we'll be right back after the break with Anne Marie Cook of Lifespan. And she's going to tell us about climate change and the aging population. Very, very interesting. Stay right there.
Hi, this is Shayna Zazzaro, owner of Effortlessly Healthy Meal Delivery Service. A huge part of staying healthy is staying happy. Depression can happen to anyone, but there are so many things that you can do to prevent it. Family and friends are huge to help with staying happy, so be sure to invite them over once in a while, or pick up the phone and have a nice conversation. And you know me, I love my exercise. I'll say it every day. You release powerful endorphins when you exercise that make you feel fantastic. Who doesn't want to feel fantastic? And hobbies, what is like a thing that you love to do the most? Make time for that. And finally, eat healthy. All of these things combined will help you feel your best, so go get your happy on.
This motivational minute is brought to you by Effortlessly Healthy Meals. Enjoy fresh, chef-prepared meals delivered to your door with weekly changing menus. Visit ehmeals.com and live effortlessly healthy.
Welcome back to Seniors Rock Radio. We're going to continue now with Anne Marie Cook of Lifespan. And Lifespan's headquarters, if you're not familiar, are right on Clinton Avenue in Rochester. So you can have a visit there if you like, or of course you can contact them anytime. But they are a regional nonprofit serving Monroe and surrounding Finger Lakes counties in New York. So I know it's been growing over the years. And education, as we talked about in the first segment, is a large, large part of what Lifespan does. And that's from teaching how to avoid scams, like Anne Marie brought up, to supportive lessons that provide families with tools to cope and even embrace the inevitable changes that life brings. We all know what those are. And we say it often on the show. We're all aging together from the moment we're born. So keeping up to date on world influences as well as local stuff on aging is also important. And Lifespan does that too. And Anne Marie is going to tell us now about an upcoming memorial symposium that is not this, but Wednesday, September 25th. And that's going to focus on the intersection of aging and climate change. I thought that was really interesting and an important subject with the rapidly expanding older population, as we know. And 25% of Monroe County's residents, by the way, are 60 plus and growing every day. So, Anne Marie, please tell us more about this climate change in an aging world symposium and how folks can go.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joanna. Every single year we have this symposium and we try to, as you say, bring up a different issue about aging. And this one we're very excited about. Dr. Carl Pillemer from Cornell University will talk about climate change and aging. And as you said, it's a unique intersection that really we haven't explored before, have we? This rapidly growing aging population with, a climate focus, and what does it mean for older adults? If you don't mind, I'm going to take you back a few years. If you think about even Hurricane Katrina, 70% of those that were killed during that horrible event were older adults, older than age of 60. And we really haven't thought about it too much, but with this rapidly growing older adult population, think by 2050, people 60 and older globally are expected to double. So we know right here in our community in New York State, the country, but the world, there'll be double the number of older adults. And we also know with some of these really crazy climate events that we've had, they disproportionately impact vulnerable people and especially older adults. So I think Dr. Pillemer will talk about his research. It's very similar to a TED Talk, Joanna. He'll talk about the research, kind of the urgent need for all of us to plan better, to mobilize better. And I'm really hoping at the end he talks about the need for boomers to once again volunteer, to be active as they
Yeah.
always have been, and really embrace this issue of climate change. That it's
Yep.
not just a young person's issue, it really should be all of our issues as the climate changes throughout the world.
Agreed. And I think that as seniors and boomers, because I pretty much we're the same thing right now. I think, yeah, we should be leading the way and embracing ways that we can educate everybody else, including, our folks that are, in our same demographic, but also leading the way for the younger people to not only learn more about geriatrics to support this growing population, but to think about these things like climate and the other things that are going to be affected. So this is really interesting. Are there any other examples of what he's going to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, he's done this research with a couple of other researchers from Cornell, but I think he will focus on ways we all can plan, in many ways that we haven't even thought about. And I
Mhm.
always think if we can plan for older adults, if there's some catastrophic event, whatever that may be, it really helps all age groups. It helps us all think about ways in which we can ensure safety for individuals because, as we know, it impacts everybody, um, but also safety for older adults. And, in a lot of ways, I don't think we've thought about how do we plan and, help people who have mobility issues, thinking
Wow.
about nursing homes or even individuals in the community who might be isolated and alone. What is the plan to check on people? So
Mhm.
I think it'll be a spirited, not only talk, but conversation about this intersection between climate events and older adults in general.
Fascinating. I love this. And folks, I'm going to tell you now, it is on Wednesday, September 25th. Put that on your calendar. You can go to Lifespan. I'm thinking you can get the tickets there. Is that right, Anne Marie? Is there a
You can
charge?
get the tickets here,
Hmm.
but I'm going to say this, Joanna, if anybody listening wants to attend, I want you to personally contact me here at Lifespan and come as my guest free of charge. I'm going to offer that to folks. I really would love people to hear this and start listening about this new issue and find ways you can volunteer in our community to help with not only learn about climate change, but also to volunteer and help us plan for the future.
Excellent. You're very generous in doing that. Thank you, because this is going to be a great, great speech from this symposium from Dr. Carl Pillemer. Is that how you say it? And
That's right.
yep. And again, it is on September 25th. And what location? Where is it? Let's see.
Joanna, we're having it at the Jewish Community Center right there in Elmwood. There's plenty of free parking. There'll be a short reception before then at 5:30. He will start talking at 6 for about 45 minutes. It's very similar to a TED Talk, if people are familiar with that, and then time for question and answers.
Excellent. And I'll thank the presenting sponsor, Together in Caring. They're also great members. So it's a great thing that we're all working together to help everyone understand the aging world. Thank you, Anne Marie. We'll be back with you in a minute. And next, we're going to have Doctor of Physical Therapy, who's dedicated to using physical therapy to fight the constraints of Parkinson's disease. Gianna Cavalier joins us after the news on News Radio WHAM 1180. Well, hi, and welcome back to Seniors Rock Radio. If you just tuned in, you are listening to Seniors Rock Radio, and we are being joined now by our next guest, Gianna Cavalier. Gianna graduated with a doctorate of physical therapy from Utica College, and then she started in home care before landing at Agape Physical Therapy. Gianna told us she quickly grew, excuse me, to love, she said those with Parkinson's disease. And she's really dedicated to it. And she's glad to have become certified to help those people to use their body more normally. She's going to tell us more about that right now. Welcome, Gianna, from Agape Physical Therapy's Brockport location. How are you today?
I'm good. Hi, I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, Gianna.
G-
And we're glad to have you here too. Anne Marie's with me too, and she wanted to say hello.
Yeah, hello, Gianna. How are you today? Thank you so much for being here. I was wondering, Gianna, if you could start by telling us, just explaining what Parkinson's disease is.
Yeah, of course. Parkinson's is a progressive disorder that affects nerve cells in a certain part of our brain that controls movement. So when these cells begin to lose their function, the brain can no longer produce an important neurotransmitter called dopamine, and this will cause problems like slowed down movements, tremors, stiffness, poor balance, difficulty walking, and also like a lowered speaking volume.
Yeah, and how can physical therapy help with that, Gianna?
Yeah, well, there's no cure for Parkinson's. There's effective treatments, though, for lessening the signs and symptoms. It's been shown through research that increasing physical activity to at least 2.5 hours a week can slow down Parkinson's symptom progression. So, exercise can be neuroprotective, meaning that we can protect nerve function by maintaining its use, also known as use it or lose it. So, as
Yeah.
PTs, we can provide education, advice on managing your disease, create an exercise program specific to your needs, which might include things like gait and balance training, cardiovascular training, strength training, or task-specific training, things like that. There's one
Excellent. And
popular
I was going
exercise.
to say balance and
Yeah,
strength. Those two things are super important as you're aging,
oh,
and
very,
they're
very.
important all during your whole life, but especially as you're aging. And I can see with Parkinson's, that's got to be a big challenge.
One popular thing that we'll do with people with Parkinson's is non-contact boxing, and you can get a lot of mobility and balance with footwork and like punching a heavy bag, things like that.
Yeah. Oh, I have a question for you. I understand that you belong to or are certified with the LSVT Big program. Please tell us what that's about.
Yeah, so LSVT stands for Lee Silverman Voice Treatment. LSVT Big is derived from LSVT Loud, which was first a tactic designed for speech therapy to allow patients to project their voices more successfully. They took the same principles with movement and called it LSVT Big. So, formed to address the more physical struggles associated with Parkinson's. Treatments focused on amplitude of movement, designed to allow individuals to move with greater ease and quality of movement. So hopefully to decrease, fall risk, increase functional independence.
Wow. What led you to become certified in LSVT Big, Gianna? If you
Yeah,
just tuned in, by the way, we're talking to Gianna. She's with the Agape Physical Therapy folks out in Brockport, and she specializes in helping people with Parkinson's disease and with using physical therapy. So tell us more about what led you to do this.
yeah. So towards the end of my schooling, I was working heavily with the neuro population, but more specifically the Parkinson's population. And the specific program exemplifies the phrase movement is medicine. And I've seen firsthand the successful outcomes of the program. Outcomes being, your patient can now stand without using their hands or walk without scuffing the floor, and just return to your community activities like grocery shopping, going to church, things like that. I've seen it successful, and that's why I continue to work with it every day.
Yeah, I
Excellent.
think
I
that,
love that. Go ahead, Ann.
no, I was just going to say, I think that's such great advice, not only for people with Parkinson's, but all of us, a use it or lose it mentality there. But I was
Mhm.
just going to ask you, really, how do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so I work at Agape in Brockport. If you go on our website, my email is there, our phone number is there. That would be the best way to reach out and get a hold of me.
Yeah, there's several locations, so I know there's an Agape in your neighborhood. I'll throw that in there, but she is at the Brockport location. Gianna is there. And I was just thinking, I love what you said about movement is medicine because someone else that's on our show quite often, Dr. Petrescu from Direct Primary Care, she says food is medicine. She says it with her Romanian accent, which is really cool. So movement is medicine. I'm throwing that in there and I love it. I'm going to share that with her. Gianna, what's one of tell us about what you like about working with folks with Parkinson's. What does that give you, personally as far as satisfaction?
I think what I've noticed is that a lot of people don't know much about their condition and about how it's going to progress and change over the years. And it's great to see how quickly they can reach a goal, just with daily working towards it and really being dedicated towards reaching your goals. And with outpatient therapy, we'll gear our treatment approach, utilizing the principles of LSVT big, and you're always expected to complete a tailored home exercise program and build on what you want to work on independently as well. So it's just so great seeing them reach their goals because it's something that can be done so easily with hard work.
That is excellent. And I'm sure because it's customized to each person's needs, that's something that's wonderful because it is something that changes, right? I mean, this is a disease that changes and that, so it's regardless of whatever stage or severity of someone's
Correct.
condition that you can help them. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate your work, Gianna. We're going to have to go. There's that music. Thanks for joining us today. You can find
Well,
Gianna
thank you
again
so
at
much for
Agape
having me.
Physical Therapy in Brockport. Call her at 637-0790. Go to Agape for their best recovery, wellness, or performance. There's a location near you, agapephysicaltherapy.com. We're going to wrap up the hour with some great things to do this week, so stay there. You're listening to the Seniors Rock Radio Show.
Hi, this is Shayna Zazzaro, owner of Effortlessly Healthy Meal Delivery Service. Stress. No one wants to feel stressed out. I know that it can sometimes be really difficult to manage stress levels, but sometimes you just need to take a step back for your mental and physical health and find joy in the simple things. Finding pleasure in the simple things can truly improve your happiness. Notice the world around you. Take a deep breath. Relax. Know that in the end, all is well and life is good, for your life is exactly what you make of it. If you go into each day with a positive intention, you will receive the beautiful rewards of happiness and pleasure. So love yourself enough to enjoy the little things.
This motivational minute is brought to you by Effortlessly Healthy Meals. Enjoy fresh, chef-prepared meals delivered to your door with weekly changing menus. Visit ehmeals.com and live effortlessly healthy.
Well, here we are rocking away that rock music there, but we've been talking a lot about what matters as we're aging, and we do that every week on the Seniors Rock Show. I'd like to remind you, though, that clean indoor air matters too at every age, and you can get clean air anywhere and save money with indoor air professionals and an air duct cleaning. And if you are a first-time customer, you can save money too. So cleaner indoor air is just a phone call away. And today you'll save money, as I said, $175 when you book your first air duct cleaning with Indoor Air Pros. Peter Gordon, he's been on the show many times and he'll be back, is extending his offer. He likes us of 175 off your first Seniors Rock or your first air duct cleaning and that's for Seniors Rock listeners, so make sure you mention it when you call him. You can get healthier air, healthier people, and pets. Call Peter today and ask him about the best deals for Seniors Rock listeners. Do it now before we turn those furnaces on and we get that stinky stuff. And take advantage of savings on air duct cleaning and other air cleaning equipment. They've got the gold standard of equipment. They've got a Healthway portable medical grade purifier, and you can get 350 off of that, or you can get 500 off the whole house unit. That's the portable one in the whole house unit. There's two different ones. They all clean air better than anyone else, and it's really easy to get it. So just call Peter today at Indoor Air Pros. 585-427-8020. That's 585-427-8020. Now, let's get back to Anne Marie Cook. I want to say a big thanks to you, Anne Marie, and to Lifespan of Greater Rochester and the Finger Lakes for being here with me and our audience today. You did a wonderful job, and I really appreciate everything you do every day of the week. You're amazing.
Well, Joanna, thank you so much for having me. I've enjoyed being with you today. It's really been a pleasure, always a pleasure to be with you and being on the show today.
Well, we'll have you back hopefully. So you keep up the good work. And I also want to thank Dr. Gianna Cavalier with Agape Physical Therapy for joining us today and for her dedication and fight against Parkinson's disease. Agape Brockport is where you'll find her. And next week, Dr. Susan Newman, audiologist from Heart, Hearing, and Balance. Talk about balance. She'll be here to remind us about the importance of safeguarding our hearing health. And so will the Social Security Medicare reps from Benefit Reps of America. They're our friends over there, and they always have great info, and that's the Penrose family. So we'll come back next week at 11, and if you want to see past shows anytime, you can go to seniorsrockradio.com. I want to mention a couple of things that are coming up this week because getting out is very good for you any time of the, at any age. And OFC Creations Theater Center's Broadway and Brighton series just started, and it started with a bang from what I understand. It's really terrific. And there's a new boy in town, The Boy from Oz, the musical. That's the one that just opened, and that's the first time that we're going to have The Boy from Oz in Rochester. So I can't wait to see this story, and I love the dancing and singing that I've already seen on rehearsal videos online. So I strongly suggest a season subscription for the full 6 shows that are coming up. It's a package with deluxe benefits, really cool. Check out the shows and the benefits and get ready for spectacular theater at OFC Creations Theater Center. And you can grab your tickets now before they're gone. They're going to go quick. I'm telling you, this is going to be a great series. OFCCreations.com. And this week on Tuesday, if you're not busy, go over to the Village at Unity. They have a free concert with the famous Tommy Brunette Band, and that's right on the Village Green. So all you do is bring a lawn chair, enjoy the concessions, and have some fun. The concessions open at 5, and the band starts at 6:30, and they'll play till 8 o'clock right outside. Hopefully it'll be a nice starry night. We've had some great weather, and that might continue hopefully through Tuesday for the concert. I'm telling you, I've gone to these. They're wonderful. I suggest you go and enjoy yourself, especially since we won't be able to stay outside that long anymore. Not to be a downer. Okay, one more thing I noticed. If you worked at Hutchins Y&R Advertising in the day, and I know a lot of people did, I worked there in the 80s and the early 90s. There's a reunion this Friday at Genesee Brew in downtown Rochester. And I think it's like 5 o'clock. But anyway, that's 9:20 Friday. Tell your friends if you know people that worked at Hutchins. Come on down and enjoy visiting with some old friends. And I mean that respectfully. Anyway,
Joanna,
Emery.
I just want to remind folks once again for those Senior Rock listeners that if you would like to attend the symposium on Wednesday, September 25th, for free for as my guest, don't forget to call me here at Lifespan at 244-8400. Ask for me personally, Anne Marie Cook, and you will come as my guest because I really appreciate Joanna having me on today and explaining what this symposium is all about.
I love that you're so generous. Folks, that's 244-8400. Again, 244-8400. Check it out. We're going to be talking about climate change and the aging population with an expert. And Anne Marie is going to bring you there as her guest. I think it's awesome. I think you're awesome. And, our sponsors and listeners, you all rock. And I guess I'm going to have to say it because it's that time again. You know what it is, Anne Marie? Want to say it with me? Pam, let's do it together. Why not? Go Bills. No, I'm kidding. But go Bills. And ready?
Seniors rock.
Rock.
Good job, ladies.